Today I want to talk to you about my lore as a musician. And it all started way back 10 years ago? Something like that. I can't honestly quite remember how long has it been since I first picked up a guitar. But it was approximately 10 years ago, and I think it was in 2016. 80% certain, sir. It was 2015 or 2016, but anyway, it doesn't really matter. It was a long time ago. And I was already actually in my 20s back then. I'm at the moment 32, so I think I was 22 or 23, 21, something like that. Which is kinda maybe late age to start, playing some new instrument. I was never this kind of a visionary kid who started at a young age and learned some specific instrument very magically or something like that. Nah. But I did my best. Me and my brother, we both started to play the guitar, and our father taught us how to play. And slowly but surely we just, started learning the basics, the very, very basics of the music theory and, just the instrument and playing the guitar in general. And I think we, learned it surprisingly well. In the sense that we started as a so late age in our 20s. So, yeah, I can honestly say about myself that I never became that big of a, master of the instrument, but I learned it well enough to be able to fulfill my ideas that are popping up in here into the songs that I want to make. And time to time maybe learn some cover, at least barely. But yeah, we were learning the guitar, we were both studying in school as well during that time. And in that time, I think this happened in 2017 if I'm not mistaken, I met this guy who wanted to, make a band, form a band, I guess you could say. We just kind of decided a little bit on a whim, because, we were just, out there partying, some student event. And, I met this guy and we just talked throughout the night about the music, and yeah, we just kind of decided that, it wasn't maybe like a keen decision at that moment yet, but we talked about that, hey, it would be cool to have a band to play in. And I think I just in the next morning sent him a message through some social media that, hey, are you still up for it? So now we had a vocalist, and we had two guitarists and a vocalist. Didn't much have else than that. And then we found we just kind of put up a search to find other band members, because we wanted someone to play the bass guitar and someone to play the drums as well, right? And we found guys for that as well, temporarily at least. And yeah, we had 5 guys, and we just, started basically learning some covers to play. And as I was actually closing on graduating from school, I needed to come up with I don't know what is it actually called in English. I don't know if it's thesis, but it's kind of a final thing you have to do in the school before you graduate. And this was a University of Applied Sciences, so I decided, because I was studying tourism, that hey, there's this thing about organizing events in my line of study. And I was like, hey, I'm just gonna, as my thesis, set up a gig for my band, basically. I asked my teacher, he said, okay, go for it. So I did. I contacted this local bar, set up the venue, got the other band as well in there to play. So in case we screw up, as we did, there's another band after us to, fix everything. So yeah, at this point, I played guitar maybe a year, 1.5 years. Yeah, about a year, and then I decided, I wanna have a gig with my band. So then we learned this set list of covers, and when the time of the gig came, I think it was in 2017 spring. Yeah, I had played maybe a little bit over a year. Me and my brother as well, so we were definitely still huge amateurs. And the gig went, maybe as well as you could expect it to go for people who had a band a couple of months. And, just learned anything. Thank God our bass guitarist was amazing, our drummer was amazing as well. I'm not saying our vocalist was bad as well, but his vocals were also still something that were kinda still in the works, I guess you could say. But yeah, we did the gig as well as we could. We did probably many mistakes in our playing, at least guitar-wise. and everything sound out of tune and everything, and it was so. I mean, yeah, maybe I'm just too forgiving for myself, but I think it was okay performance regarding everything. But yeah, maybe we just definitely threw ourselves into the too deep water, and we were not quite maybe as prepared as we could have been. We're still very happy that we did it, and maybe I'm saying I'm proud, but I'm just happy that we at least tried our best and did everything we could. After that lineup of band members kind of split up. The bass guitarist moved to another city, and the drummer did not want to have anything to do with us after that, which I completely understand, because he didn't know that we were such noobs when he got in the band. And this was actually the different drummer that we originally got in the band. But this was just a guy we kind of recruited to do this live gig with us. And he performed perfectly and flawlessly. And I understand completely that he never wanted to see us again after that. But yeah, then we wanted to, start to have this band where we can make our own songs. So we had me and my brother and the vocalist. And from the school we found a new guy to play bass guitar and a new guy to play drums. And then we formed our first official band called Limos. This was, I think, in 2018. I think in 2018 December, if my memory serves me correctly, we released our first single, Encompass the Spirit, on YouTube and on Bandcamp as well. And it's still on YouTube and on Bandcamp. I think you still want to go and give it a listen. And yeah, that's like the official, I think, first point of this story with the actual real band making original music. And yeah, we had a good run. We created a lot of songs. We had a couple of gigs. We made 2 EPs. And yeah, it was pretty fun. Good first like, as for the first band, I think it was a very good band to have, with everyone working together to make as good music as we can, learning a lot, and just also meeting up new people who helped us through to get our music done, in studio, and mixed and mastered our songs and helped us out with that, just finding the sound for the band. But this was all, of course, before COVID, and when the COVID hit, things got rough, because we wanted to have an album, we wanted to make an album, we wanted to make this debut album, of course. But then, I think things kind of fall apart a little bit. For a short time, I moved away from the town, and I was still traveling here to keep up with the band, do the practice sessions, and preparing new songs and stuff like that. I did move back to the town, but then a couple of our guys moved further away. And with the combination of COVID and with the long distances, it just slowed down so much making the album that so many years just passed by us just kind of waiting maybe the COVID to pass and trying to keep up the interest to still make the album, but it just kind of fell apart with that. And that's absolutely fine. It's completely understandable. It's hard to keep a motivation up throughout a long time if there's nothing really happening progress-wise. At least that's how I feel about it. So in the end, we officially buried that band. I don't remember when it was, a couple of years back. 23 or 24, I think. Something like that. And after that, me and my brother decided, yeah, let's keep on doing the music with ourselves. And we also had our drummer still from the previous band, Limos, still living in the town, so he was in to continue doing music with the 3 of us. And that's what we did. We formed this trio called Aran Alfirin. We wanted just to, keep on making music. And we just kind of had me playing bass guitar, my brother playing guitar, and our drummer playing drums. And me and my brother started to learn, doing growlings. Growling vocals. Because that's kind of the music we wanted to do and we had done in the past with our previous vocalist, but now we just had to be the vocalist ourselves. So that's where we started with, and we did some pretty good songs, I would say, for myself. This was the first time when we were able to come up pretty much with all the parts for the songs. We composed them ourselves and come up with the lyrics and vocals and everything, so it was pretty fun. And Aran Alfirin is still out there, but our drummer moved away from the town, so the same thing happened again, and at the moment it's just me and my brother. and kinda in a slow burner with the band at the moment because no drummer to play with, so it's kind of boring to just sit in a home studio making new songs, but there's really no one to practice them with. So it's kind of a slow burner. We are still making music and we are actually still releasing music. We still have some unreleased songs just waiting for us to get there to be able to release them. And we are working on new music slowly but surely. Mainly we are just waiting if we can find a new drummer for the band. So we could pick up the pace maybe a little bit, because it would give us a huge motivation if we had, the drummer. At the moment we have to program the drums into songs, and it's not really that fun when it's not actual drummer playing the drums. But anyway, that's the current situation with that. And of course, nowadays I also have my solo project here on this channel, Soul Stain, which I kinda set up a little bit afterwards when the drummer left the Aran Alfred, because I just had more time then to kinda vision my own songs into my solo project. Songs that I didn't quite fit anywhere else, and I just wanted to make them, and which has now evolved into this huge concept of ideas in this world that I have built in my mind. And yeah, it's just actually gone a little bit out of hand with that. But hey, it's pretty cool if I say so myself. I don't know how well the stories of that world relates in my songs, but yeah. If you ever wondered what my songs are all about, at the beginning they were not anything about any concept, but they just kind of built into that. They were just random songs inspired by something, and then later on I saw how they connect to each other, and then I started to write songs with that mindset that they are telling about stories of this specific world and about this specific events in that world. Yeah, but yeah, that's pretty like long story short, I guess you could say, about my lore as a musician. Here I am, a couple of my guitars in the back, and I'm here in my home studio where I just make everything to the Soul Stain, and as well some things to the Aran Alfred as well. Yeah, it's a little bit unfortunate living in a small town. It's not easy to find other musicians to play with or collaborate with, especially in my genre, I guess, because I just do some harsh, growling vocals and play some melodic death metal. Not really that much of that scene happening in a small town, but it is what it is. But yeah, that's gonna be all about it. I'm not gonna ramble on that much further, because just wanted to kind of share this story of myself. If you wanna hear about more of these music things that I've done, well, I can tell you more about them, but you can also go listen to them. Limos, EPs, Watching the Winds, and Tales of the White Eye are both still on Spotify, on some other streaming platforms as well, so you can find them there if you wanna hear what kind of music we did. Aran Alfred also has music singles and one EP at the moment, at least, on the Spotify and everywhere else, so you can check on that. And of course, hey, if you're finding this video randomly as the first video to watch from here on this channel, Soul Stain, you can check out my music as well. I mean, the Soul Stain's music on Bandcamp and on Spotify and everywhere else, but most of the music is at the moment on the Bandcamp. I am planning to release them on the other platforms as well, but I always try to put music on the Bandcamp as well, and at the moment I said most of my songs are there. But yeah, that's going to be all for this video. Thank you for watching this one. Like the video if you like this rambling old man telling about some lore about himself. Subscribe if you're new over here. And ain't nothing else to it. Welcome in if you're joining in to this journey of me trying to come up with a content idea to make here on YouTube. Yeah, ain't nothing to it. I will see you all with the future videos, and for now it's going to be a bye bye.